welcome everyone. It's a very special presentation and panel. I'm very excited for this. It's something very close to my heart. Is Nachi, sorry, my cat, you might see my cat, is something special to my heart of having women given a seat at the table. And even though we work very hard for it, I think we almost have to overcompensate to be at the table. So I'm very excited that we have a full Women's Data Diva table. Thinking about this presentation, we were thinking, is a woman of data. I know, could have the Shiros or something, and we thought data divas, and divas are very close to my heart as well. I think they have such power. And so, yeah, I just am very excited to present these divas to everyone, to the world. So before we get started with that, we have our upcoming events. The first one of the month is the ins and outs of data modeling. That is going to be on the 6th of September. It's about an hour. Then we have the big data and data science. Sorry, I realized that I have not ordered these by date, but anyways, we have data protection for data management professionals, which is with also a very strong diva, Caroline Mountain. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her surname. That is a great one to attend. Next one is governance, ethics, culture change, and data. It's 21st of September. So if anyone would like to present at one of these, we are looking for guest speakers. So please just drop us an email if you know of anyone that you would like to see or want to jump in on that. After that, we have the African Data Management Community that happens every Thursday. Howard runs that one. We usually pick a knowledge area that we discuss in a month and go through the different personas of data. So once every Thursday would be for a different persona. We go for data management, data citizens, there's data management professionals, and data executives. And then every single Friday, we have with one of our in-house divas, Veronica Diesel, is the CDMP Q&A. If you're thinking of certifying, this is a great webinar to attend because she takes you through the whole journey of certification and gives you some tips and tricks to help you along the way. And next, we have an announcement of our pre-exam refresher course with Veronica. Our next two courses are going to be for free, so in August and September. If you are wanting to write, if you've been studying, cramming, and just need that little push to go over and write the exam, this is a great initiative. We do it on a Saturday so that you can either write afterwards or on the Sunday while everything is fresh in your memory. And all right, so Women's Day in South Africa, it's from a march that happened on the 9th of August in 1956. It was 4 women that stood up to start and get the petitions. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the names, but it's Lillian Ngoyi, Sophia Williams de Brain, Rahima Musa, and Helen Joseph. And sorry, I get like a little bit like, it's so amazing what they have done for us women. And we really have so much to be grateful for these. I don't even think they got the petitions. As you can see over here, they have all the petitions in their hands. Every single woman kind of signed these petitions and marched so that we could have equal rights. I know back then they wanted Black women to have passes to walk anywhere and be accompanied by anyone. And this really was, the innovators, the trailblazers for South African women and their rights. So yeah, I cannot pronounce the Zulu version of it, but it's "you strike a woman, you strike a rock." And,
I can help you with that one, Debbie.
Thank you. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. It's so powerful and so strong. And wow, we have so much to be grateful for. And I also want to thank all the women in our lives who have brought us up, all the women that have come before us, and all the women that are changing our lives every single day today. Yeah, so that is why we celebrate August, and the whole month is ours. And I'm really excited to be uplifting and celebrating these beautiful divas that are taking our data world by storm. So the first one we have over here is Veronica Diesel. I'm just going to play a little clip, a little song of our favorite data divas. And then if Veronica can help introduce herself a little bit, that would be great. So this is the one for Veronica. Ooh, it stopped. Well, I jammed by myself and that was great. I'm just going to do that the whole time. You guys can either laugh at me or laugh with me. So Veronica, if you could please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Veronica Diesel. I am Howard's wife, Debbie's mom, the education director of DAMA SA, director of Modelware Systems. I'm a high school teacher. My teaching subjects are IT and maths. I run the CDMP for certification, the data management for certification course to try and prepare people to certify. And it's my mission and my passion to get as many South African people to certify. And as we've been doing this throughout the lockdown, we've actually managed to get lots of people from all over the world to be part of our journey. So that's even more super exciting. As a data person, I started as a DBA. And that was, we'll touch on that a bit later. So I started as a DBA and did all sorts of other kind of data communications, teaching, and finally I'm helping Howard. I've got 4 children, of which Debbie is the third, but Andrew, Monica, Debbie, and Mark.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh my gosh, it's the first time. Alrighty. Please stop. Don't do this with me. Okay. So now we have Tsumisa Khlopo. I'm going to play your song. I'm sorry I did pick this song for you, but I hope you like it. Alrighty, I'm set. Or
That is, yes, that is so awesome. What a beautiful song. Thank you. I grew up on that song.
Same,
Thank you,
same.
So my name is Numisa Hlapo. I am a business intelligence analyst. I work in the banking industry at the moment. I have experience across retail and banking, and I must say, retail is my most favorite data to work with. Retail data was the best. Yeah, I'm a mother as well. I'm a mother of 2, 20 months apart toddlers. One is 6 and one is 4. And they keep me very busy, but yeah, data takes the most of my world because I'm also a host of I don't want to call it a show, of a talk that I launched in the June month. It's called the Data Talk Sessions, where I engage with data professionals to bring them on board to talk about what it takes to build a career in data analytics, to assist the youth to get more young people in the data space, but more especially to get more girls in the data space to increase representation. So yeah, I'm a wife, and I think that's me in a nutshell. Thank you for the invite.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I've been watching what you're doing and it's been absolutely amazing. Just want to uplift you. Alrighty, our next person. Oh, stop it. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, we have Abida, and she has a little daughter. Alrighty, I wanted to play that one for Abida because she is like sugar. And she has a little sugar with her. Our little diva, future data diva.
That's right. Thank you, Debbie. So I'm Abida. Just in terms of my background, I'm an IT professional by nature, been in the industry for 20 years or so, but focusing on data the last 8-9 years or so. I started as a developer as well, and then quickly moved into analysis, and that's where I discovered my love for data, with ETL and data migrations, etc. And then on a personal note, as you can see, I'm a mom and a single mom by choice. So Juanita is actually adopted. She's a tiny little blessing. And yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. Looking forward to this session.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for blessing us with your little bundle of joy. Alrighty, our next diva, data diva, is Esti Bosov. This is her song. Awesome. Esti, please welcome yourself.
Hey, Debbie. So my name is Esti, and I'm a very passionate, enthusiastic person in general. And I absolutely love data and working with data. I've done some data management consulting work in master data management, reference data, data governance, and one of my plans is I want to do at least one project in every area of every knowledge area in the DMBOK. So that's one of my plans.
Amazing. You're going to do it. If anyone can do it, it's you. Alrighty. And our next diva is...
And of course, Howard's like, and what about IE? Yes, I love industrial engineering too. So I think the combo is great. So it just works so great.
Thank you for that. All right, now we have one of our great divas is Marita. She's from Peru, and here is her song. All righty, Marita.
Really, I feel so excited. I feel very good. I have all the feelings here in my heart. You know what the world now needs is love. We see wars, armies, weapons, and I think that we all, especially we, the women, the girls like you, have a very special weapon that is called love. So if we, wherever we go, wherever we are, we carry our hearts, our soul, and our mind with us. Really, we will solve anything. We will cooperate. We won't compete, and really, we will have the very good secrets to bring to the corporative world better things than we are. Well, I am Marita from Peru. Really, I enjoy to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me. I will be with you from now on. I began with data-driven world since 1998, and I am a business person. I am not an IT girl, and really I enjoyed a lot to work with IT people. And when I was working in one of the last companies where I worked to, the IT manager invited me to belong to her management. So I changed from marketing to information management, information technology, and then I learned a lot of things. Now I have my own company that is called Cyclus Group, where I help the companies the Peruvian companies in change and improved their operative model with process and data-driven business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Amazing. All righty, 2 more data queens. Sorry, now we have Diana Joseph, one of the good data divas to DAMA SA. Here is her song before she introduces herself. Oh, sorry for that. Di.
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you, everyone. What an incredible position to be in. We're a truly international panel. We have Marita from Peru and all the ladies in Johannesburg and Cape Town, and I'm sitting here in Edinburgh, Scotland, way over in the UK. So exciting to be here with you. A little bit about me. I am the senior citizen in the group today, and I always am. I am 73 years old, and IT has been my life and my passion. For the last 20 years, I've been involved in data quality management, data governance, master and reference data management, and just last year, I actually wrote 2 of the CDMP exams, encouraged by our other diva, Veronica. My latest passion is obviously education. And that's really about all of you out there. I have so much in my heart and my head to share with you all, and that's what I want to do. I want you to benefit from what we've learned, we as divas, over the years. Thank you so much for inviting me, Debbie, and look forward to a great panel discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Di Queen. Now we have Kolo Fellow. Here is her jam, her data diva. All righty, Kolo, could you please introduce yourself? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Debbie. Thanks to everyone. This is such an honor. I feel really, really honored to be called a diva. I didn't know that one day I'll be called a data diva. So I really, really feel honored. So yeah, well done and kudos to you, devs. Yeah, so my journey, I really started at the bottom. In university, I actually studied econometrics, which has nothing to do with IT. But I found myself when I was working, getting, pulled into the IT space, or let me rather say the data space. So for me, it's quite exciting to see where I've come, where I've come from and where I am at the moment. I'm very passionate about data. And for me, I don't want to stop learning, because I think the learning and, creating these networks and learning from, Dee mentioned such an important thing to say. She's been in this industry, her whole life, and, she's looking for people that she can, impart her knowledge. And for me, it's exciting, because as young as I am, and being a person of color, I am really excited, to step up and be in this space, and also, see how I can make a difference in my community. Numisa, I think she was saying, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but Numisa said something so important around, this initiative that she's taken around, educating people around data and around IT. And I think these are the things that as a country we need to start doing. Lining up and getting a 350 grant does not do anything to us. We need to start teaching people how to fish. Take people to the river and teach them how to fish. So for me, this is such an exciting honor. And I'm excited and I'm happy, and I hope that these conversations can continue. and also then start bringing, you know, other younger children, be it from tertiary, be it from high school, so they can also see what's out there, the possibilities. Because I think what kills our community is that people do not see the possibilities of what's out there. So it is really, really exciting. It's an exciting journey. I don't want to talk too much about my experience. I'm still trying to learn the ropes, but I think for me, this is such a great platform where we can start making a difference, because the government is not going to make a difference. I think as individuals, we need to start making a difference and change our country. Thanks, guys.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I have about 8 questions that I would love to go through, and I'm sure there are more questions that people would love to ask. So I'm going to start with the first one, and whoever would like to answer it, you can just chime in, and that would be great. So the one question I want to ask is, how did you learn to find your voice and a seat at the table, the data men's table?
Well, I can begin.
Please.
Well, it wasn't so easy, but I think that the secret is to work and learn a lot. You have to. I had to learn when I was in Telefónica, a Spanish company of telecommunications in Peru. In 1998, I was the manager and leader of the project Data Warehouse Corporative of the Telefónica, a big company. And in that moment in Peru, nobody knows about data warehousing. So I have to learn in USA with the Spanish guys, with another people that had experiences first. And then the sponsor of the company really helped me a lot. And I built a team with people of marketing and IT, the best people of marketing and IT. And really, we had 2 years for 2 projects, the corporative data warehousing and unique code client to identify the customers of Telefónica. And because of that, I have to I have to go to the board members to speak to them the advance of the project, and working a lot. Some days we used to work 20 hours maybe. And I think that I discovered a passion. I discovered a new world when somebody introduced me to data, to the world of data. So the good job collaborating with marketing people and IT people make that we can achieve the goal. So learning, working a lot, talking, a good communication with many people. That's why I think that we gained a seat. We had a seat in the table. Right now, I have a company, and always I talk with the CEOs of the company, of the companies of my customers, my clients, and really I should have to learn a lot to be in that place.
Thank you so much. Amazing.
Debbie, I don't know if I can chime in to what Marita is saying. This is actually something that has come up in the conversations I've been having with the ladies that I've been coming to the data talk sessions, to ask them how they get to get that seat at the table. And I must agree with Marita. You have to learn. You have to learn a lot about data, and oftentimes, unfortunately, as a lady, you have to learn more than the man. If the men are learning 20% of the material, you have to learn I don't know, like triple your learning and your intake of the learnings, because unfortunately the trust factor for women is not there currently, or it's trickling in, but it's not the same, it's not equal. So you may have to prove yourself over and over again, so that knowledge comes a long way. And I think just a case in point for me, I've had to go as far as start with my DAMA certifications, because I realized that it's something that I need to bring forth, and you know, the data management practices. But it's a question of, why should we do that? Why should we spend time on that? And I know that most of the time it's being questioned because you're a lady, but if it was an idea that came with a man, so when you have the knowledge to say, no, these are the reasons why we need to implement this way, then your points, then you know, you can't argue with facts if you bring the facts forward. And in addition to learning, you have to be comfortable as a woman. You have to be comfortable with discomfort, because oftentimes you're going to have uncomfortable positions, in conversations. And I know that as ladies, sometimes, you know, we've been raised up to be polite, to not rock the boat, to not rattle the cage. But you're gonna have to be comfortable, learn to be comfortable with discomfort. It's not an easy thing, but it's worth it at the end of the day, because if you're passionate about data and you want to see your company or your organization thrive by implementing the right your ideas in relation to data, then you know, it's a journey that you must go on, and be comfortable with that discomfort. And what you birth out of that at the end of the day is something that you will be proud of, that you will take forward and say, when I was in this organization, through being comfortable with discomfort, I was able to shift the business unit or the organization to this direction, and someone else can come and take from wherever that you left off. And I think the third and final thing is that you need to be authentic. You need to be really true to who you are, because I think it's Steve Jobs who said that you don't waste time living someone else's life. I know that oftentimes we can get tempted to want to do what the men are doing in how they lead, you know, these data teams, in how they lead in the data environment. But when you bring your authenticity and your femininity to how you lead, you know, you become more confident first of all, because you are being true to who you are. Then you don't have a war between your authentic self and this person that you're trying to be. So you become you charge forward with so much confidence. And I think when you are authentic, you also find joy, because at the end of the day, when you go home, you don't want to cry and be sad, and you know, you end up hating this world. But when you're authentic, you enjoy what you're doing. You love what you're doing. You don't. I was at a point in my life at some point where I was like, do I really even want to be in data anymore? You know, and I think it was because of that war. And I think that journey of saying that, who is Unumisa in this space? What is she trying to say? And how would she say it, how she says it? And it has helped me a lot in finding my voice, which I shouldn't have had to find in the first place if I was authentic, right? But by being authentic, I found my voice, and I present things how I want to present them. I execute things how I want to execute them. As long as I know that at the end of the day, it's going to yield the results that will take the organization forward. And I think that's how you find joy in having that voice.
Yes.
Wow, powerful words, powerful. Kolo, I know you put your hand up next.
So, Nomisa, I want to actually echo on you know, those points that you've mentioned. You've actually taken all of my words, because I think trying to get, you know, the seat at the table, the authenticity is one of the things that will make you different, stand out, be out of the ordinary among the crowd. Because I think a lot of the times we try to become men. If I'm a leader within an organization, I want to be fierce and, you know, be autocratic and have this manly voice, you know, and not be shaken, because I know if I do that, people will listen to me. So I really, really agree. And as I think one of the things that we also then need to understand is that as women, we need to elevate and assist each other, because, you know, when I entered into the data world, I think I was the only woman in a team of 18.
Wow.
Not not knowing anything about data. The most that I knew about data was, the front end screen, talking to clients and then telling them about their balance and all. But how everything fit together in the background, I did not know. So trying to then create a voice for yourself within that space is very difficult. And I think when I started, I was a data jockey. So you are a data jockey within a team of data devs, and you know how data devs can be. Everything that you say, more so that you are just a data jockey, nothing that you say is going to make sense. Secondly, you are a woman. What is it that you're going to tell me? I know more about you. I studied IT. You studied economics. You know nothing about data. So working through those dynamics was very challenging. But, I think one of the things that also then, gets you to have a seat is the persistence and the manner of approach, because through all those challenges, I didn't find myself feeling, like I can't do it. I think one of the things that keeps driving, you need to self-motivate yourself. You continuously need to push yourself to say, I can do it. I might not be a male person, but I do have the knowledge. And I like the fact that, Nomisa, when you said you need facts, and that's the only way that you can fight this battle. Because if you do not have facts, half the time, whatever that you're going to say is not going to have, it's not going to have substance. But if you have facts around the data, if you have facts around what you're presenting to business, I think that also then helps you to then alleviate and fast track getting that seat around the table. And then once you have that seat around the table, what do? I think then, keeping those networks, because I think the other thing that is important is the networks and unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we do need the men to help us. And one of the things that I've said is that I use them as stepping stones. I'm sorry to say that. For me, they're just stepping stones.
That's amazing.
Sparks off as much as you can, use them as stepping stones to get ahead. But again, not in a way that, I'm trying to say you are useless, but it's more of, let me learn as much as I can from them and then take this and educate other women so that it's easy for us, to transition in this whole data space. But not an easy journey, but it has been great.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. I just want to put in there and say there's so much power in our femininity, and we need to harness that. Honestly, I think we are magic, and we're just going to take the storm, and we just got to take up our space, our God-given birthright space. Esty, you are next.
I think also, like, speak up, like, say you are interested in something, say like, oh, you've gotten this and you've noticed this, and you want to be part of something. If you don't speak up, there's not a lot of people that's gonna know you are interested or you have these thoughts or these contributions. And then also persistence, like, speak up and continue to speak up, but say something. If you want to be part of it, persistently work at getting at that table. Like, be like, I can do this, and eventually just squeeze yourself in there, and then you're just there with your piece of paper or your whatever. But the space is there. Sometimes we just don't know who else wants to be there. So speak up, say like, oh, I know this, I've seen this, I've noticed this.
Yes. Howard's saying you do that very well. You speak up very well. And I'm sure, I think as women, we really have to like shout and be like, I'm here, I want this, like really show that we want this and really speak our mind. And I give you all the strength for speaking up your mind. Abida.
Yes, so from my side, a few ladies mentioned the technical knowledge and, you have to study, you have to learn. So I know that. But there's a different spin to this as well. So for me, finding my voice came with finding more of me. So getting to understand who I am, understanding what's important to me, what my models and values are, and then using that as the basis for, this is important to me, this is what I'm willing to say, this is what I'm not willing to say. And I think that, and also learning how to interact with others, so identifying with other people, learning to understand the egos and the personalities, and then that goes a long way in terms of finding your voice and contributing to that table as well.
Amazing, thank you so much for that. Di, your beautiful flower. You are on mute.
Thank you. flowers in my hair. Yeah, as you know, I mean, I'm a hippie child. I grew up in the 40s, 50s, and I started work in 1968. And believe it or not, way back then, women were predominantly in IT and data. And
Wow.
there were more women than men. I remember I worked for OK Bazaar's computer center. That was my second job. And they interviewed me on television and asked, so that must have been about 1976, and said, what is it like being in a man's world? I said, this is not a man's world. My entire team was women. However, my boss was a man. And his boss was a man. So although we were loads of us women, and why? Because we had the right mindset. We were attention to detail. We were meticulous. We could write a computer program. We could test it. We could interact with business users. And so we had the passion. And one last thing, the money was great. We were paid well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and we were. And it's like things have kind of gone full circle, and the men have come in. And I mean, I've never had a problem with competing with men in the industry. I compete with myself. And I challenge myself. So men are not competition to me. I learn from them. I listen to them. I mean, this word mansplaining, I had to Google it because I didn't even understand what it was. Really. Yeah. So yeah. So what is that anyway?
So mansplaining it was one of the questions I was going to come up with or going to ask next. And I do want to just say that this is not a session that we want to bring down men or belittle them or anything. This is us uplifting women and dealing and discussing the everyday challenges that we come with. And yeah, so mansplaining is when a man explains something to you that you already know it, and you have the degree and you have the knowledge and you've been working the same job the whole time, and a man comes along and wants to mansplain it. So like really dumb it down as well when explaining it to you. And I know it happens quite often. I've been mansplained many things in my life. And yeah, that was my question of how do you react? What is your best reaction to being mansplained to? Yeah, whoever. I have to honestly swallow my tongue. I don't know yet what my best reaction is to it. So I'm wondering if you guys can teach me.
So I from my side, I generally have one of two reactions. So either I entertain it, but with that entertaining, sometimes my facial expressions and the body language takes over and they see how I feel. But then other times I tend to challenge it. So if it's something that, I go back to the facts and whatever they're talking, if it doesn't make logical sense or they're trying to explain something that I know is not, how it should be, then I'll challenge it head on. I mean, I'd like to give an example, a typical example. I have 3 brothers, so I know lots about cars. So people don't expect me to know about cars. And then somebody explained to me a simple thing like a 13-inch wheel, on a car versus a 19-inch wheel on a car. If they're both going 120 kilometers, the one with a 19-inch wheel is going faster. I mean, what rubbish is that? So that kind of stuff I'll challenge, to the nth degree, I'll challenge it. But most times I'll, let them have their say and I'll nod, but they will know, like I said, facial expressions and opinions, they'll know.
That, yeah, I do feel that we have been brought up to be kind and be wary of the male ego, to not hurt them. And I'm sorry, man, but they do have fragile egos. So yeah, so I just know that the one thing is to just kind of say yes and hope they, get uninterested and leave. But yeah, I like your facial expressions. That's a good way to show.
Yeah. I think for me, Debbie, I was strong. I was raised by a single mom. Like, I call my mom the general because that's like literally how she raised us. She's a bulldog. Even in the family, she was the one that you don't mess with. When you are out of hand, your parents will call my mom. So I think I've got a little bit of that, and I've learned to tone it down because at the end of the day, you need to understand corporate politics. And some of those responses, when you come out too strongly, can hinder your growth in a man's world, for lack of a better word. But I think it's, for me, I think we teach people how to treat us. And if I'm going to spend a lot of time in this company, in this department, so possibly liaising with this person that is mansplaining me, explaining me, they're probably going to do it over and over again unless they understand that you can't do that with me. So for me, honesty,
Sorry.
honesty is sometimes the best policy, but obviously your delivery is very important. So for me, I will call it out that do not mansplain me. The point here, I'll take you back to the overarching point of what we're talking about before you brought it down to layman's terms for me, whom you assume does not understand it. So I will bring you back to the higher level of what we're talking about. And I will call it out that, like, don't be condescending. I think I didn't know the term mansplaining before. I knew the term condescending. Like, that is big, that is condescending. That's not what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. But when all else fails, sometimes I'm a very sarcastic person, and it my sarcasm can go on for days and years, and I just put it there. But I think teaching people how to treat us, because if someone mansplains you once, they'll do it again, unless they understand that, okay, with this one, I'm going to avoid it getting to a certain place, so I won't do it again. Then they know that you don't do it with this one.
Amazing. Thank you. I love that. You have to teach people how to, I'm sorry, the words are escaping me, but be your friend, or we don't want them to be our friends, but how to treat us. And I think that goes through everything in life. Anyone else? Should we jump to the next question? That sounds great. What advice can you give to the future generation of data queens, data divas? Yes, Marita.
Well, I will say that, first of all, believe on you, believe that you can, be confident on you. The first person that have to feel good with you is you, you are. So many things I have talked with for girls and boys, and also old managers that tell me, what do I have to do? This is a good problem. Well, I said, the life and God puts you here. So if you are here, it's because you can. Maybe you are the only one that can. And really, when we are in some situation, when God's put us in some situation, is because we can. This is the first thing, believe in you. And then what I say is not to compete, only compete with you, as one of you said. Only challenge you every day. But rest, sometimes rest, because in my experience, I do not rest 16 years ago when I began my company, and I really, I realized here that it's not good. My coach told me, oh, that's not good. Rest and trust on you, collaborate, cooperate. Think that diverse teams are very, very good. I think that we as ladies, as girls, as women, we have something that they don't have. And look that they have something that we don't have. we can put the value of the family. We can put the value of family in a corporative world. And that is, I think that is the main reason that you have to be there. We are mothers in any way. I am single. I don't have my own siblings, but I have many siblings in my life. That's what I say.
Thank you so much. Di, I know you were next. Oh, Di, I think you're on mute again. Sorry. Wait, no, still can't hear you.
There we are.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So many words resonated there, Marita. Yeah, I mean, for me, it would be to find your passion or what you love in the data space. So is it architecture? Is it governance? Is it BI? Is it analytics? And set your goals on that. So find your passion and do it with enthusiasm. And then embark on your studies. So decide how you're going to get there. It's not going to happen by itself. You're not going to learn from your colleagues all the time. You will learn experience from people, but you'll learn a lot from listening. So use your ears, study, do your research, attend like this, attend the DAMA meetings and learn from each other, and do your exams. I mean, if I can do them at 73, and believe me, I was frightened I would fail. You know, after 53 years of experience, I was actually going to fail. But you can ask Veronica. I said that to her. It was and I did it last year. So, and I have plans for this year. So it's about going a step upwards. It's like defining a business strategy. You've got to define your own personal strategy. And what is your goal? Where do you want to be in 5-10 years' time? And defining your objectives, how are you going to get there? And your route map. So exactly like a business strategy, a data management strategy, a data governance strategy, a personal strategy to see where you're going to be in the future. And look out for the changes. You know, every time I deliver a training course, I wish I could just have another 10 years, because AI and artificial intelligence and machine learning fascinate the hell out of me. And I want to do it. I want to know it and understand what it means from a data perspective. So look out for objectives changing along the way as trends and technology changes. So set yourself up a plan of action. That's the advice I would give to all the divas out there. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you so much. I actually wrote down personal strategy. That was very inspirational. Thank you so much. I don't know who the first one was between Veronica and Esty. You guys can fight.
Was Veronica. Was Veronica.
Yes. Nixie.
One of the things that we ladies tend to, a trap that we ladies tend to fall into, is comparing ourselves with other people. And we always fall short. Somebody's always, you know, when you're little, it's more beautiful, it's got better things. We seem to grow up with this. And then when we enter the workplace, we find that all of a sudden, I thought I was brilliant, and really I'm stupid. And because I'm comparing myself with people who've been working in this area and know the stuff that I have not met yet. But then I feel stupid, And then I feel like I don't belong. And I think a lot of us ladies actually, because we compare ourselves to people who know a lot in one aspect, we know a lot in a whole lot of other aspects. But it's that one aspect that seems important at that time, and then we feel like we don't belong. And I actually wrote a blog on that for Paul Krobler about the imposter syndrome, about how feeling that, you know, your people say fake it till you make it. Well, you just get better at faking. And then all of a sudden one day you wake up and you think, well, hey, I actually do know this stuff. But the pain along the way wasn't worth it. So don't compare yourself to other people. You've got so much to bring to the table, and also you've got a teachable spirit and the desire to learn and the passion to learn, and it'll get you there. You know, we can't know everything, so don't compare yourself to people who've been there for a long time. You know, I've got the DAMA SA president, who's the most knowledgeable data person that anybody knows. And I live in his shadow most of the time. But I've learned that my place is doing what I do well, and teaching this data management fundamentals course has become where I feel like I can actually contribute, and I'm not feeling like I don't belong anymore. So that's the thing that I wanted to bring. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Somebody's always got better behaved children and nicer clothes, and they're thinner or they're more voluptuous, or it's just not worth it. You're special. You're perfect the way you are.
Amen. Amen. I 100% agree with you. I'm also sorry if I wasn't the greatest child, but I think I was. Yeah, just one thing that I can touch on that is to be kind to yourself. Honestly, in everything we do, we need to be kind to ourselves and watch what words we say over ourselves. And really, self-acceptance, someone said that, and I 100%. Oh, Esty, honestly, we need to live by those words. I actually have a ribbon here. Oh, it's far down. And it's to remind myself to be kind to myself. Esty, you are next.
So, advice for future data divas. I think as somebody that didn't start my career in the data space, we as people in the data space, like almost that responsibility to tell other people about data management and what it is and what it means, because it's so fundamental in absolutely every industry. There is no industry that doesn't touch on data, and it's just going to become more and more important. But it's an entire system that people know that. So let's say somebody's very keen on machine learning and data science. You have limitations if a company doesn't even know who their customers are. Like that fundamental part of data, like master data management, that needs to be there. So you almost need to see this entire big picture. So yes, definitely, like Di said, like find the part you like and have a plan for that. But know that there's so much of a bigger picture that you might need to initially just say, okay, this is super important, put a bit of time in there, and then focus on something else. But you know, this is like data as a whole ecosystem. Like nobody in the data space can function alone. You need everybody in your ecosystem for data, and because everybody plays a very important part. So it would be that, like, ecosystem, different people, and it's a system, and we need different parts.
Amen. Thank you so much. I know we're going over in a bit of time, and I should be asking if anyone else has questions, but I do want to slide in one more. There's actually a few more, but the one I want to ask is, how do you manage juggling career, family life, and your happiness? I think so often women get asked, how do you juggle family and career? And never ask, like, how do you juggle your happiness? Because mothers are honestly superwomen. They make everything seem absolutely normal, like a analogy my dad taught me that's always been stuck in their Howard, sorry. Water off a duck's back, of like underwater, your legs are going, whoa, and on top of it, the water's just gliding off. And I think honestly, mothers do that every single day of our lives. So yeah, I saw Nkumisa, you were first.
Sure, that one is very close to my heart, Debbie. I'm actually so happy that you included it in here. Because personally, so I started having babies like at the peak when my career was like, you're going from junior now to things are peaking. And I had my kids like 21 months apart from each other.
Wow.
And for a while, that put me off the game in terms of work, in terms of my happiness, like you said. And I believe in terms of, if you're not happy as a mother, your children, you're taking something away from them. You can't pour from an empty cup. And I started reading more, and I started blogging about it. And one thing that I always hop on is to let go of the mom guilt. There's a lot that springs from the fountain of mom guilt. Mom guilt will make you, oh my gosh. It manifests itself in so many different ways. When you, mom guilt is basically feeling guilty about everything. Feeling guilty about now the dreams that you had for yourself. You always had this vision that this is what I'm gonna do, and you feel guilty about staying on course for that dream. That's what mom guilt will do to you. It will like make you feel bad for that, and you shouldn't feel bad for that. You shouldn't. You also deserve to still pursue your dreams and be the best that you always thought you were going to be in whatever it is that you're doing. But feeling guilty all the time will take you off, because you'll feel like you need to be with the babies 24/7. And children don't die when we pursue our careers. But now, how did I navigate that? For me, I had to be very honest with myself, first of all, to say that what's happening, you are feeling bad. What are you feeling bad about? These are the things that I'm feeling bad about. I'm feeling bad because I feel like if I study again, I'm taking time away from the baby. How do we solve that? You list the things that are pulling you down, that contribute to your mom guilt. Then when you're honest with yourself, then you can be honest to your support system. You can be honest to your partner. You can be honest to your family, or whoever is around you to help you in the journey, because there's always people around us. But we also feel guilty about asking for help. We feel guilty about receiving help from people, because you feel like, no, I had these babies, I should be able to do it all. No, like you need a community. You need your community of people that will assist you. So you need to be honest with yourself that I feel bad about receiving help, and I need to address that and start receiving help. And then you need to be honest with your support structure to say, I mean, when we had our second baby, my husband and I had just moved to Johannesburg, to the city of gold, to pursue our dreams. And then boom, here I am, I'm pregnant. You know, at some point I felt so bad. And then at some point I had to sit down and say to him, okay, now the baby is here. These are the plans that I have for my career. And this is what it means for our home life. It means we're gonna need extra help at home so that we can budget that in. It means that I'm gonna need you. My husband, not the most domesticated of people, but I had to like, okay, now I'm gonna need to step up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to help. So I think before I ramble on, because this is a matter that's close to my heart, you will need to drop mom guilt. That's
Amen.
how you will get clarity and see what is happening. Let go of the guilt. There's nothing wrong with wanting more and more and more for yourself as a mother. Greatness is not only reserved for fathers. In fact, when you do the most and your children watch you do that, they become that. They don't do what you say, they do what you do. Children mimic what we do. So if you want your child, your daughter, to be the greatest in whatever they're doing, you need to model that in front of them. And you can't do it if you're feeling guilty of all the time about chasing your dreams. And secondly, you need to be honest with yourself about what it is that you can and cannot do, because you can have all of it, but you can't have it all at once. So when you're honest about what you want, then you can be honest about, okay, now I'm gonna start pursuing my DAMA certifications. Now I'm going to start pursuing my honors. Now I'm going to start, you phase things in, because now you have sit down and you're honest and you communicate that to your support structure so that they can back you all the way and not have to guess what it is that you need. They know exactly what you need. And if they forget, remind them that, guys, I'm starting this year. That, guys, I'm planning to take my DAMA exam. you know, remind them. My children, as young as they are, they know. They'll come upstairs and they say, "Mommy, is it time?" Because they mostly downstairs and my office is hidden somewhere. So they'll come, you know, they learn so quickly. They'll come and ask, "Is it time? Okay, can I have time with you after 7?" They learn so quickly how to slot themselves into your life, and they will apply that skill in their own lives.
Thank you so much. That was so powerful. Kolo, you were next.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that I have learned in this journey is that you need to be deliberate about your time. And, you know, as an individual, you need to be focused and stay in your lane. One of the things that I think at the beginning of my career that I found myself doing a lot, and I think a lot of the ladies have said this around, you need to know yourself, you need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, you need to know what you want, and you need to know have your own roadmap, because the minute you start looking at other people's roadmaps, it becomes difficult for you to then balance your time. So one of the things that I have then learned in you know, in this industry is that I need to then define those timelines for myself. I need to then be deliberate about my time and how I split out my time, be it for my family, be it for my daughter, be it for my work, be it for, you know, my personal, you know, spiritual journey. Because if I don't do that, one of the things I is going to lack. You know, there's one of the, I can't remember which philosopher said this, to say, you know, the most important things that you have in life is love and time. You know, in everything that we do, we give love, and it manifests in the time that you ultimately spend. So one of the things that then I've learned to be deliberate about is to then start, you know, putting schedules for myself, to say, if I know that in this year I want to be, you know, my small goal is this, my medium goal is this, and my long-term goal is this. Is it feasible in terms of what I want to achieve? Yes, I am passionate. Yes, I want to build my career. But what are those things that I can, you know, be able to do, like work like an ant, you know, do now as quickly as possible. And then there are those things that, you know, you want to then, you know, try and cascade and give yourself a long term, so that as a woman, and V, you also mentioned this, to say, as a woman, have your own journey, you know, because the minute you start comparing yourself with other people, that's when you're gonna feel like you're too pressurized. And in the year that you have, where you have a child, you have a husband, you have this, you want to try and take over the world, which sometimes it's impossible. And I think that's why as women we ultimately burn out. So I guess those are the things that I've actually tried to look at. Yes, I am at my age. Yes, I want to be a thought leader. Yes, I want to get here, but I'm not there. But I've put that goal, deliberate goal for myself, to say I'm setting this timeline, and ultimately it will happen. And I will set aside the time to ultimately get there, and not look at other people's journey and compare myself with other women to say, oh, but she's doing this. I don't know. What if she doesn't sleep at night? What if she stays 24 hours without sleep? I can't compare myself to her. But so my journey is my journey, and I liked what you said, Dee, around the roadmap. I think that's something that I think I'm definitely going to start putting on paper, so that I can have actionable items in terms of my life. Thanks, guys.
Amazing, thank you. Di, you're our next hand up.
Oh wow! You know, it's amazing. I'm just resonating with each and every one of you. I too am a mother, and my daughter is probably older than many of you in the room. She's 46 this year.
Wow.
So, and I have to tell you that I made a sacrifice in my life, because I did not get the balance right between work and family, and my health and my spiritual life. So I sacrificed everything for work. And that was the obsessive part of me, the passion and the enthusiasm. Do I regret it? Not for one single moment, because I still have my daughter today. We burnt some bridges along the way because work always came first. And I just want to warn you girls about that, because it was a big price that I paid in doing that. And my work is everything. It still is today at my age. But just be wary that you get that balance right, and you put your families first, girls. You get that balance right, work, spiritual health, family, and don't put too much focus on the work. Bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. I think that can also go to the men out there as well, to every human being.
Yeah.
Marita, your hand is up. I don't know if it's still up from last
Well,
time.
I don't know if I can, well, I can say you what, that you shouldn't do what I have did, I did. I work a lot, sometimes when I was in Telefonica. As I said, I am single. And I only had my mother, and at last my mother was as my child. She passed away 1 year ago, and I remember that some days when I used to work a lot in Telefonica with big projects. Well, I love big projects, and sometimes I have to work there in the company at the offices Sundays. So in order to have my child, my mom, with me, and I used to go to the job with a little TV and my mother in order that have to have my mom on Sundays. What I have to say is don't do that. You have to give yourself, your family, your child, your friends time. In what I have to say is that my manager says Marita will do it. Marita will, and my passion is the brick projects. So maybe I did what I shouldn't do. But well, in any case, I have experience, a lot of experience. There are some goods. Always you have good things, but I should say with the young people, the young girls, I think that I am here. We are here in the world with one mission. Find your mission. Uh, why you are here? I know why I am here now. Um, Look for your mission and work for them. But think that you have to work, you have to feel, you have to be with your family, your friends, your child, the community, and first of all, you have to be happy. God has put us in the world to be happy, and
Amen.
that's my phrase now. I am happy. That's why I'm here. I feel very happy. I enjoy this meeting. Enjoy to meet you, meet all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure to meet you. It's been a pleasure to have all of you. I'm not closing it though. I am going to ask the men on this call if they would like to ask for advice or any questions from our professional divas.
Hi, Kamal here. Can you guys
Hi,
hear me?
Kamal. Yes.
I'm not gonna show my face because I cannot compete with the makeup, right?
Some of us are not
We
wearing
don't
makeup.
compete. We
Yeah,
cooperate.
yeah.
Okay, let me just say I think I was raised in Venus but born on Mars. Um, I think I've got a great gratitude towards my mother for raising me properly. We're about 7 kids,
Wow.
and it was always about treating the women right in life. So I made a couple of notes, and in my notes, I'm sitting here with hair standing up on my forearms, and I'm in awe of all you ladies, and I want to congratulate for each and every one of you. You sound amazing, and hopefully one day we cross paths and we can work together. Now, I know there was a lot of things said about men and getting your seat at the table and all of those type of things. I've been, I don't want to give my total age away, but I've got a very junior career in data of about 20 odd years. And data is always a difficult topic to get a seat for. Whenever the item of data management came up, whether you're male or female, I think people try and avoid you and don't want to listen to you. They don't understand you. They ridicule you because they don't understand. And then they want to compare 19-inch wheels to 16-inch wheels. But that has happened in my world as well. So the only other person that's avoided more than the data people are the internal auditors. So don't take it. What I can hear is there's a lot of strength and power in this room. And I want to encourage you to give some more power to this cause of data. And you are female, you are the mothers, right? There's nobody better than a mother to look after data. The guys cannot compete. That's all. I'll shut up now.
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you and appreciate you for sharing. Anyone else would like to ask any questions? Howard.
Of course.
Yeah, I have a question. The background I came from was being a DBA, working, programming, technical, and a lot of the user groups I would go to were predominantly male. Veronica and I were talking about it, and in the SQL Server user group, I think we had something like 40 men and 3 women. Now, what blew me away was when I started entering the field of data governance, and I found that the women were far better than the men. And I have a few guesses as to why, but I don't really know. And I was just wondering if someone could help me and explain to me what I need to do to become as good.
Oh, any of our divas like to take over? Di?
Yeah, my hand is up.
Yes.
Howard, I think because we like to see the bigger picture. So we see that DAMA Dimbok wheel and we see it bigger than it actually is. So there's more than just these 11 knowledge areas. And we understand that it's not a flat structure. It's multi-dimensional, and we have to be involved in everything. I mean, I think obviously that data quality is the foundation because that's my field of expertise, and data governance is that thing around the wheel that keeps everything together, and it gets bigger as we implement more pieces in that wheel, if you like. And I'm really not answering your question as to why women are better, but I think it's because we see this expanding dynamic of data management. And the fact that Esty wants to do a project in every piece of the pie, and that wheel is going to get bigger, Esty, so you're in for lots of more projects. I don't know, that was just a little bit of banter from me, Howard.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's amazing. Paul Bolton, I see your hand is up.
Thanks, Debs. Hi, ladies. Just a quick question. I invited my lovely wife to listen in. She's not a data person. Yes, she works with data, obviously, so she doesn't recognize that she could be labeled as data
She's a data citizen. What do you mean?
Yeah, we're trying to educate her there. I'm trying to learn the right lingo to educate her. And probably my question is, for somebody like that doesn't necessarily see themselves as a data person, doesn't recognize the term data citizen, doesn't, obviously works with data, but doesn't know the DMBOK, doesn't know the knowledge areas, doesn't really get to speak data in that sense. What advice would you give to, I could say, considering Di's on the call, a young lady or a very young lady with a flower in her hair, if she wanted to sort of migrate or take on that learning, what would you say to them?
Oh, wow.
Amazing. Thank you, Paul. I don't know who wants to go first. Shall we ask Nurmisa if, I'm sorry if I mispronounced.
Perfect, Debbie. It's like you've been practicing for years. I think, Paul, what I always say, and this I say to my family, right, who happen to not be in data, is that we are all data people at this point in time. We must get to a place, you know how they say financial literacy is for everyone? Data literacy is for all of us. And we sort of need to, I think as data people that, data professionals that are called data people, we need to conscientize then everyone else around us that you are a data person and try to draw out, this is how data relates into your world, right? Everyone needs to understand, how does data fit into my world? And I think that's a starting point. My sister has a e-commerce business. So all she's concerned about is making sales, making sure her take-a-lot stuff is moving and all of those things. And her life became so much better the day she realized, or she decided to listen to me to say that all of this is sitting on data. Whether or not you're going to make sales next month for the cups that you're selling right now, you need to understand your data. So data like just like financial literacy is for everyone. If we all have to know how to budget, we all have to know how data fits into our world. I need to be able to read the data on my phone. I mean, iPhone is Apple is very good at telling us this is how much time you spent on your screen, this is how much time you spent on Google, and all of those things. I mean, that's data, and that's a starting point. And each one of us has got an area where, whether I'm in marketing, whether I'm in retail, whether I'm in e-commerce, whether I'm in healthcare, data, all of that relates to data, and it's something that we all need to be conscious of. And I think one of the reasons that I created the data talk sessions, apart from the career advice that goes to the young people that want to come into data, was to drive data literacy for the ordinary person. To say that whether you like it or not, your world is driven by data. You switch on the computer today, you are given all this data analytics based on COVID. Like people can read dashboards all of a sudden without any training. And back in the day, you had to train your users on your BI products. People don't need any of that training now. They can pick up a dashboard and read it. And for me, I think that makes you a data person. If you pick up your FNB app, they tell you, I use FNB for my banking. They tell you this is how much you spent on this and that and that. That's data. So I think the first point is to say that wifey is a data person. We need to correct our terminology. And she just needs to find how data fits into her world and then follow the breadcrumbs from there.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, Paul, for that question. Di Marita, would you like to answer the question, or?
Yeah. Would you like to repeat the last part of the question of Paul, because I didn't listen very well? Debbie, please.
Paul, he asked, sorry, I'm spacing now. It was about that she doesn't know on data, or that she is data, or how does she step into it? Paul, can you just correct me if I'm wrong?
Sure. So my wife studied commerce as well, BCom accounts, spent most of her career to date in accounts, but then took on a challenge in a commercial management role with Lufthansa, loving it, recognizing that she's not a true blue finance or accounting person, really enjoys some other parts of business and all that, and loves exploring that side of it. but we often talk about data. She sees the journey that I'm on, the stresses that I go through trying to keep up with Howard, the captain, and she smiles a lot. But we talk often, and I suppose my explanations aren't hitting home. So my question was really, what would you say to a young lady that is in the business world, dealing with data all the time, doesn't recognize the term data citizen, doesn't recognize necessarily that she's dealing with data as a product or a subject, and therefore what would you say to her to encourage her to investigate, explore, maybe even study? Maybe the lights come on in an area for her that suits her, her personality, her goals, her dreams, etc. Thanks.
Well, okay. What I always say is that, well, I have a phrase that I think that define many things. And I said, from the business model to the data model. So what I used to say to people is that, first of all, know your business. No, right now we can, if we go from the general to the detailed things, and I think that there are easy methodologies, easy ways to go to the seed that is the data, because information is different. So first of all, business model. What is your business model? How do you make money? Okay, then let's go one step. Let's design, let's understand my value proposal. Finally, I said the value proposal of one company becomes some data. Which data? The customers, the products or services, no? Tangible or not tangible products, and the prices. You can add the providers or suppliers, all the parts of the products. So you have, I say, why don't we find the principal entities of one business? Which are the entities? Tell me your entities. That is the define the business: customers, products, prices, no providers, and there are few entities. No, they are not many entities. And then I said, well, that's data. Apart from that, each data has some attributes. So I always ask people, I have a course, I designed a course, a class that we call Data Gym, no? And I said, for you, for your business, is the industrial sector is important? Yes, it's very important. Okay. Do you have the sector in your system? No. And when they answer, they realize what is an attribute, what is a data that they didn't consider. And because of that, they begin to learn what is data, the way to define the data. And if you go to any part of the business, economy, the finance, IT, if you want to realize or learn how the systems goes on, no, so you have to find the KPIs of the systems, and you can find them by the logs, no, so they are data. And by a simple way, a girl may find what is data and I think that, well, I am a chemical engineer. I didn't use my career, no, but as we say in chemistry, the atom, the most little part of one substance is the atom. So I say the data is the most little part of the information. Sometimes we talk with some people and they tell me, so Marita, we need data scientists. Do you know something? Okay, what do you want to do? I don't know. I have a lot of data. No, but you have to design the information strategy. What do you want to do? What do you need? Because the data scientists will come here with their methodologies, with their statistics. But if you don't help her, if you do not translate your needing, you won't have a good performance of this guy, of this girl. So you have to enter, first of all, to the data and to translate your business rules to the data. That's what I think.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Paul, did that answer your question?
Very much, and I'm going to use it too. So awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is beneficial for everyone, no matter what your gender is. If you're non-conforming to gender, honestly, this is beneficial to everyone. Di, I don't know if you have a little bit. I know that I want everyone to just have a little snippet before we close. So shall we start with you, Di?
Great, thank you. Okay, I've got an iPhone, a Samsung. I've got this little iPad-y thing here. I've got my laptop in front of me. I've got an extra screen. I've got a TV over there. I am surrounded by data. I travel by bus. I travel by Uber. Data is everywhere. I online shop for the first time in my life, and I love it. And I have a record of all of my sales. So I am surrounded by data. I am a data producer and I am a data consumer. So I guess I'm a data citizen. So Paul, maybe that will help you as well with your wife. Yeah, and I analyze this data all the time. God bless you all. Divas, it's the first time in my life that I've been a diva. So I'm enchanted today.
Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, divas make the world go round. You guys bring color to our lives, and we would be nowhere without the strong divas who trailblaze the way for us. Who would like to go next? Our closings. Goodbye. I'm going to pick Veronica. I'm picking on you.
Okay, thanks. I'll go next. Di, when Debbie was asking about the music, my diva was actually Joni Mitchell. And then Stevie Nicks was sort of also better. Yes, I'm so excited that we got together and we did this, and everybody's experiences, and I'm sure that it's going to be so beneficial to younger women, and that we've recorded it so that we can share what we've all shared of our experiences. And you know, education is a passion for me because I'm a teacher and because I'm a mother of so many children. Whenever I do my courses, I feel the same way about the people on my course as I used to feel about my classes, and it's been absolutely wonderful. And I just encourage you all to just carry on learning. Don't compare yourself. Your journey is unique, and your journey is your journey. And don't forget, we're here. Howard, myself, Debbie, all of us, as DAMA SA, we're here to help everyone. So, you know, just give us a call if you need help.
Amen. Thank you. Esty?
I shared a link in the comments as well about it's a book, Data, A Guide to Humans, and it's all about data empathy. And I think that's something that's like a term that's like I had never heard of before. And I think that's something special that we can bring, is that empathy to where data is concerned, where yes, data is facts and clinical, but there's also so much empathy because it's like it's people's data, it's what they work with, it's them expressed on like paper. So I think we need to add so much empathy to everything we do, and I think we're very good at doing that. So I think we should continue adding empathy to everything that we do to add value.
Amen. Thank you so much. That was so powerful. I 100% that we can all live by those words. Marita?
Well, data is my passion. Because of data, I learned how to manage IT projects. Data is the core of the business, any business. So what can I say to many people is that understand your business, understand your data. So if you do that, you won't have any problem, because you will realize all the situations you will find if you have profit in anywhere or not. Is a situation that understand the business, understand the persons, as you say, empathy with the people, with the collaborator, with the employee, with the supplier, with the customer, and everything becomes on data. That's
Amazing. Thank you so much. Abida, if you mind.
Yeah. So from my side, I'd like to reiterate the authenticity that was mentioned earlier. So I think one of the greatest compliments I ever received was, you command a ladylike respect. So I'd like us females to still just go out there, be female, don't want to achieve and be that male in the room and adapt, to all of their ways. Go out, just be females, flaunt that femininity, go out and prosper in the data world. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you. And oh my gosh, wow, I was doing so well. And was why? Oh my gosh.
It's okay, Deb.
I have a question for you before you close. You do so much amazing work with your data talks and uplifting women in data. And we as DAMA SA would love to help out and help you on your journey as well. And so my question before we close is, how can we help you?
Whew, Debbie, can I think on that? There's so many things I want from DAMA SA. I've literally got a long list of demands.
Yeah, I'll tell the big man.
No, I'll engage with you on that.
Awesome.
And I mean, on
that's
that
your guys.
Yeah, those are my children.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for creating this platform. It's been really amazing. It's been exciting just listening from the experience of the ladies. And I think I just want to note that vulnerability that came from Di and Marita earlier, that I think for me was my highlight and something that I'm definitely taking home as my top of takeaways to marinate on everything that you shared. We don't gather like this in vain. We gather like this so that we can feed off each other's experiences, so that we can empower one another. And I think that's how authenticity then plays a part, because you can't be authentic without vulnerability. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm really grateful for that. This could have easily been a technical platform where we walk away with everything that we can find on Google or on the DAMA DM box. But it became something much more deeper than that. And I'm really, really grateful for that. I think when you hear other women's journeys and how people are just navigating their world, it becomes so validating of your own experiences. And as you go back to your world and plug in tomorrow, you have that. They say once the brain is expanded by an idea or by knowledge, it cannot go back to its original dimension. And that's what experiences like this then do. That's the gift that they give us, because then you go forward with this experience and you integrate differently. So it's a gift. I'm really grateful for this platform. And I think there was a question that you put, Debbie, that we didn't get to touch on, is the data world ready for gender equality and for people non-gender conforming? And on that, I just want to say that the data world is ready for all of us. The beautiful thing about the data world is that it's so diverse. It is so diverse. In my short stint in data, I mean, I've only been in data for 10 years, so it's very short compared to the very well-seasoned people on this platform. I've been on the ETL side of things, on the BI front-end development, BI business analysis. There's been so many pieces of the pie that I've been able to touch on and get a view of and taste to see whether it's for me or not. And I'm still on that journey. So I think as diverse as it is, it then means that it's ready for a diversity. It doesn't need to be ready. I think it's the one space that is whole for anyone and for everyone, regardless of where and who you are and where you come from, and regardless of what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about business, if you're passionate about healthcare, if you're passionate about animals, if you're passionate about human rights, there's a place for you in data, and data can play a role in that. So I think it's a space that it's a gospel that I definitely want to go forward. And Esty, I will join you on that challenge of doing a project on every wheel, on every component of the wheel. It sounds very exciting. I think we must have a hashtag for it.
Nice, nice.
I agree. We'll find one and we'll come back. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank the lovely Data Divas on this panel. Honestly, I mean, we've been for about 2 hours now, but I am so grateful and I feel so privileged that I have such incredible women lighting the path for me and the other women to come. And honestly, I'm so grateful towards you guys and have so much respect for you all. And yeah, thank you so, so much for bringing that femininity and that diva magic to DAMA SA. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very much.
Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
all.
Have a lovely weekend. Wait, we're not there. Week.
Thanks, everyone.
Congratulations for all of you.
Thank you.
Bye.
I will
Bye.
be
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Fantastic
Nice
job.
meeting. A very nice
It was
meeting.
lovely.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarita. A pleasure. I will be posting the recording on LinkedIn.
Debs, I'm sure you can summarize today's talk a lot better than I can.
Yes.
So you'll do the write-up as well for LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Debs. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you all.
Absolutely, you did a wonderful job.
Great.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys being here.
And thank you for vibing in the starts and like dancing. It was so fun. So I think next time we end it like that as well, because then everybody will be dancing with.
Yes, I agree. I would love to. I even had a song, but I'm like, she's done 2 hours and 5 minutes of chatting.